To everybody who's been liking the videos so far, we thank y'all. You guys liking the videos has kind of helped us start to grow the channel even more, so we appreciate it. To those who have not, please, we ask you, hit the like button before you even watch this video. It helps us grow the channel, helps people learn about us, and allows us to make more great content like this. So that's all we got. Thank you for helping us grow this channel. Hit the like button right now, and on with the show. All right, folks. It's the boys.
We back.
Your man's in them.
Yeah.
Had a couple weeks off.
Short hiatus, you know.
Yeah, just, should be happening. But we back.
Life.
Yeah. We still got more episodes than everybody else.
Come on.
It's only a select few who are more consistent than us. So, super duty tough work. For those of you who forgot who the fuck we are. Blueprint. Illogic. Doing the damn thing. Podcasting. How was your beat set last night, sir? Illogic had a beat set, y'all.
Yeah, man, it was it went much better than I had hoped.
That's good.
I ended up playing for almost 2 hours, man.
Let's fucking go.
I was only supposed to play for like a half hour, 45 minutes. Yeah. And the DJ who was supposed to follow me didn't show up. So Adrian was just like, yo, you got more shit? I was like, dude, I could play beats all day. Like I got
yeah.
I got hours and hours worth of beats.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, I was just playing joints and cats seemed to dig it. So
that's dope.
It was dope.
Hell yeah.
Dope.
That's what's up, man. So, the hard work paying off. Yeah. You've been working on beats for a minute, so it's dope to see you playing out. I gotta play out some point soon. We both been posting mad beats on the gram.
Right.
It's only right. So
get out in them streets.
Yeah. Share it with the people, man. You ain't gotta rap. It's a whole different experience, man. It's playing beats.
Yeah, it's funny because like some people was there and they saw me. And it's like, oh, you I saw you on the flyer. You rapping tonight? I was like, nah. I was like, I ain't rapping. I'm DJing basically. It was like, oh, word?
Let's go.
Like, okay. All right.
Hell yeah. That's dope. And you did drop a new beat tape recently, correct?
I did. I did a couple weeks ago.
Tell the people.
The Groove tape.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? The Groove tape, you can get it on my Bandcamp. Yeah, it's nice. It's my interpolation of, the lo-fi thing that's happening now. Just thought I'd throw some joints out there. I think it's my best beat tape so far.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So
it's fucking
kind of improving.
Support that man. Support that man.
Yeah, it's on my Bandcamp. $10. You know what I'm saying? Get you some beats in your life.
Let's go. So we out here, man. We out here. I want to thank everybody who's been buying the books, last couple weeks. We ain't even done episodes. When I be seeing books, I'm like, oh, word?
Yeah.
Thank y'all. Appreciate y'all.
Well, when you got the fire, you know what I'm saying? When the flame is lit, you know what I mean?
Tell them, brother.
What can you do?
Tell them,
you know what I mean?
What can they do? You can't put out the flame. It's eternal.
You can't put out the flame. It's an eternal flame.
So, the cheat code book, always relevant.
Always.
10 traits. Always relevant. Cop them if you have it. This week, we're going to talk about something that we have not talked about before, which is, something that Illogic kind of hit me with, which is something we probably should have talked about before, but it's like the case for unions in hip hop. And people would say, oh, well, why would we need that in hip hop? Why would, what would be the benefit? And there are many. And I saw there was another cat who has a book called the Beat Tips Manual. I think his name is M. Saeed, I believe. Somebody will have to correct me. But I follow him, and he had a chapter in his book. I haven't read the book, where he does have a chapter about producers needing to unionize. I always thought it was a fascinating concept, and then, us decided to talk about this today. It's a good conversation. So if you're going to be at home, we just want to break down some of the things that we think would be benefits, especially as you continue to see these artist names in the news about their deals that many people say are not equitable. Many of our complaints about the pay rates from these streaming services, etc.
Yeah.
It's good to have a more macro conversation about maybe what could help these situations. So,
and even artists, like artists that we're big fans of, dying broke.
Yes.
That have sold millions of records.
Yes, which we will get into.
There's no reason for
that. Yeah, there's no reason for this stuff, man. And so, we'll take a break and we'll be right back.
We got you stuck off the realness, the most infamous, you heard of us. Official podcast murderers, the show comes equipped with viewpoints to share. Grown man ideas for all those who care and want to grow, so go ahead and download. Every single week with a brand new episode. You're not alone in this world, cousin, so we share information and honest discussion and keep repping a culture like we supposed to. They spread gossip, but they never come close to. I can hear it inside their tone. They talk about the industry but never left their home. You get laced up with bullet points and such, plus empowering topics that they never would touch. You can put your whole network against a team, but Super Duty Tough Work's the MVP. Most valuable podcast on MP3. Priceless info, but all of it's free. So take these words home and think them through. Super Duty Tough Work is coming at you. You are now listening to Super Duty Tough Work with your host, Blueprint. Raw and uncut. Adult conversations. No shucking, no jiving, and no bullshit.
All right, folks. So we back. Super Duty Tough Work. Blueprint. Illogic. The most infamous podcast on planet Earth. Talking about the case for a hip-hop union. Why hip-hop needs a union. We'll hit you with some bullet points as you at home. If you see us on the comment section, you know what I'm saying? Hit us with the good word. And reason number one. Bullet point number one. Why hip-hop could benefit from a union is clear direction and leadership. There's something that's beautiful about hip-hop, which is its individuality, which is, how everybody's different. They do this, they're out to do that, and just your freedom because you don't have to do what everyone else does, right? That's fine in terms of artistic expression. But what happens is that whether we know it or not, people from the outside view hip hop as this whole thing.
Right.
People's complaints, praises of hip hop, they're made under one big umbrella. If they think hip hop is great, they're talking about a bunch of different motherfuckers. If they think hip hop sucks, they're talking about the art as a whole.
Right.
And that's fine. But what we need to understand is that even though we have this individualism within hip hop, there's no collective direction.
Right.
There's no consensus leadership. There's just a bunch of different people doing what's best for them, making music that has the same format.
Right.
That's cool and dandy until you need direction and organization.
Right.
And hip hop needs direction and organization. Because, it's my belief that many of the reasons that hip hop artists are exploited to the extent that they have been in the past is because there is no direction. There is no organization.
And there's no support. There's no overall support of each other.
Right. Like, what are you supporting?
Right.
Just the person, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so the thought is that, if you were to compare hip hop in terms of leadership and organization to the unions that other, that are seen in the private sector, they all have clear leadership. The police union has one elected leader. The firemen's union has one collective leader, right? UPS workers have a collective leader through whoever, Teamsters or whatever. All of these things these entities have people they elected, and that person's sole job is to do what's best for the people in the union, not the businesses they work for, not mega corporations, None of that shit. Their job is to always get the best deal and do what's best for their people. We don't have that in hip hop.
Nope. Not at all.
We don't. You can get a great deal today. Somebody's still gonna try to jerk me tomorrow.
Yep, straight up. It's just like in basketball, basketball, football, you know what I'm saying? Like they have their, unions and, doing collective bargaining agreements and things like that, making sure that certain things are in line for the betterment of the players within football, within basketball, within baseball. All of these other sports, have unions.
Yes.
That they have a centralized leader and a centralized direction. This is the kind of things that we as a whole think are important. So this is what we're going to bring to the league. And, these are our demands, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And negotiate thereof, for the betterment of the group as a whole. And hip hop, well, really music in general, not even just hip hop. Music in general doesn't have anything like that.
No.
Everybody's kind of out for their own, even rock and roll, pop singers, because pop artists, they get jerked too.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Rock and roll artists get jerked too.
Yep.
So if, not even saying hip hop, but if music as a whole kind of unionized in a way, and there was maybe sections, you know what I'm saying, for the different genres, that could be interesting and that could be very powerful.
Yeah. I mean, and to add on to that, like, look at actors.
Yep.
The film industry.
Yep.
Unionized.
Yep.
Unionized. And it's been unionized because they realize at some point these studios are going to do what's in their best interest. And if they do what's in their best interest, we're going to get hurt by it. And so I think hip hop needs to be thinking about that, we have a class of elder statesmen in an art form who after having been in the industry for, 20 to 30 plus years would be great. Right?
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have to be someone who's just the most successful. It could be someone who's been on a major, been on an independent. Maybe someone who's ran an independent label, someone who's been an independent artist, someone who's been in all of these things, has experience with all these different facets, someone who's toured, someone who's not toured, someone who's successful in the streaming space, someone, like people who have these different experiences and can make decisions for the collective, not even decisions, who can put together an agenda for the collective.
Right.
And the individuals within that collective can vote on what they want to do.
Right.
Like what if every hip hop artist said, look, starting January 1st, we want a better deal on Spotify. If we don't get it, we're pulling all hip hop off Spotify.
All of it is gone.
Every rap song is off Spotify.
Imagine the power that like, come on.
Yep.
Because hip hop is the number one genre of music in the world.
Yeah.
If we said all hip hop is coming off all streaming platforms, if we don't get X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
And we did it. They would be sick.
Yes.
Sick.
But because of the lack of leadership, an agenda, an organization, it don't happen. So that's number one. And that leads us to the number 2 bullet point about the case for why hip hop needs a union, which is more standardized pay. You see, what you have in hip hop and in music in general is you have major label artists doing what's best for major labels. And so the rate that major labels get paid for their catalog through streaming is different than what we get paid for streaming. This wouldn't happen if there was a union. Everyone will be entitled to the same slice of the pie simply because we're hip hop artists and we know how important hip hop is to the economy of this whole music industry. This shit don't go without us.
Right.
These festivals don't go without hip hop at the top of the bill no more. And that being the case, we can now use the success of all of our artists to, as they say, a rising tide raises all ships, or however that saying goes. We can raise everyone else simply because the individuals can't be picked off and side deals can't be done with them. So they never try to do what's in the best interest of the collective. which in a lot of terms means more standardized pay. You know, just in the same way that a cameraman who performs his service on a feature film has a standardized pay per day for his services, so should hip hop artists who get on that stage.
Yep.
You know, so should hip hop artists whose music is used in any commercial endeavor.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it shouldn't be, well, I negotiated this rate with him, but since you don't know no better, I'm going to negotiate the lowest rate with you.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of fucked up, but that's what happens every day.
Yeah, it does.
You know, so I think if we were to put in something in place, like we mentioned in a previous point about Spotify, what do you say? Look, man, this 0.0001 cent per play ain't cutting it. We want a higher minimum.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we want to double that for everybody, or we want same rate across major and independent, or we out of here and we're going to take our whole catalog to somebody who'll give it to us.
Just imagine that, dog. Because the thing is, it's not because you know, it's like in major sports, there's a rookie contract. There's a standard rookie contract.
Yes.
That everybody that comes in the league kind of gets. It's around the same.
Yep.
And you know the you know, a lot of the terms and things, like different things are negotiated around that, but there is a standard rookie contract in any sport that you go to.
Yeah.
And you know, there's bells and whistles added according to, you know, your status, of course.
Yeah.
What's wrong with that?
Nothing.
You know what I'm saying? And it's, I mean, and just like, you know, the Spotify, Apple Music, whatever, the streaming conversation, you know, if everybody's making the same thing now, if that was raised,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, if you get 1 million streams and I get 100,000 streams, we're not making the same amount of money, but the base for the stream is the same.
Yes.
That's what it should be, and it should be raised. And we have the power to do it if we just come together and fucking, yeah, man.
Yeah.
Some strong shit.
It is. You know, and that kind of leads to, you know, well, to add on to what you were saying there, in addition to, you know what, we'll talk about this in the next one, because this applies to that as well.
Yeah.
And the last one you mentioned, like, our number 3 bullet point for this, in the case for why hip hop needs a union, is better contracts. Period. I don't know of any industry that has a reputation for worse contracts than the music industry.
No.
You can't think of one.
Mm-mm.
Literally every couple of weeks, every day, you hear about an artist getting jerked.
Yep. From
the most popular to the least popular, fools are getting jerked.
We got jerked.
Yes.
Everybody's gotten jerked.
Everybody's gotten jerked. Everybody's got a shitty deal, or you got a deal that looked good that somebody just refused to honor.
Yep.
You know, and you didn't have the money to go after them. Then they took that money and went and signed a bunch of other artists and did the same thing, rinse and repeat, and kept people's catalogs forever. Meanwhile, not honoring what they said they were going to do. What we can do if we were to organize as a collective in hip hop is stop that all together. You failed to honor this contract that we know is in the best interest of the artist one time, you'll never sign another hip hop artist again.
Yeah, blackball.
You can go do that to country artists if you want to. You can go try that with some punk artists if you want to. You know what I'm saying? Techno, house, we don't give a fuck. But this will be your last time jerking one of our artists on our contracts. And what we do as a collective is we pay lawyers to write up a contract that's standard, that has everything in it that protects us.
Mm-hmm.
What major labels do and what labels do, they write the contracts.
Yep.
They get their team of lawyers to give you the contract. You got to agree to their terms.
Yep.
Hip Hop Union would allow us to do the opposite. Oh, you want to sign one of ours? Here's our contract.
Yep.
Now you can add on if you want to give us more that's in this contract, but you're not taking away shit.
Yeah.
That would help everyone, because one of the reasons everyone gets jerked in hip hop is because every contract is different.
Mm-hmm.
One guy signs a contract, has no idea that his streaming is not going to be a part of something. Maybe he was an older artist. One guy signs a contract for this rate on streaming, this rate on physical product, this rate on shows. One guy signs a 360 and he's getting, money taken from these 5 things.
Mm-hmm.
There's no standards. And where there's no standards, there's no consistency.
It's chaos.
Yeah. This is hip hop right now. You never hear about artists having great deals unless they were independent first and made the labels come to them.
Right.
That's when you get the good deal. So the question becomes, why don't we just get that deal for everybody up front?
Yeah. Because that's the thing. When like you look at artists like Master P, you selling 100,000 copies out of your trunk, label give you whatever you want.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? But if hip hop as a whole did that, because as a whole, it's hip hop is billion dollar industry yearly.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So as a whole, if we said, yo, this is what we want, or you can't have hip hop.
Thank you.
Not just an artist. You can't have hip hop if you don't give us these standards.
Yep.
We in the driver's seat.
Yeah. Yeah. And having those standards would be what makes people want to unify.
Mm-hmm.
Like most of these artists don't know that they have bad deals until they're in the middle of getting jerked.
Or until they're successful.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And they're, selling millions and millions of records and they're broke. They still it's like looking at like the New Edition story. Cats were on tour, they had #1 records and they were still living in the projects.
Crazy.
You know what I'm saying? TLC, same situation.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy.
But it's so fucking normal.
Yeah, it's real.
And standard, So yeah, that's number 3. We'll take a break and be right back.
Blueprint, Illogic, Superstition, Gift of Gab. My name is Sammy Warmhands, and these are just a few of the iconic voices featured on my double album, Figures of Speech, available now at Take92.com and StrangeFamous.com. Do you miss live music and going on tour? Check out my new book, How to Ruin Your Life, The Daily Grind of a DIY Tour. The book chronicles nearly a decade of underground tours with artists like DJ Abilities and Christoph Crane. With a foreword by Carnage the Executioner, this book is a must-have for rap fans who want a peek behind the scenes. The book is available now at Take92.com and StrangeFamous.com. For even more behind-the-scenes content, subscribe to the Take 92 podcast for interviews with artists from Sage Francis to Jello Biafra, and of course, our friends, Blueprint and Illogic. This is Sammy Warmhands. Back to you, Print.
This is your weekly reminder that we have 2 books that you, as a listener or watcher of this podcast, need to absolutely own. The first is The 10 Traits of Successful Hip Hop Artists, and the second is The Social Media Cheat Code. Both of these books were released within the last year. The 10 Traits of Successful Hip Hop Artists is a book where I go through the stories and explain the traits that are behind the success of some of the biggest names in hip hop today. The book has got nothing but amazing feedback. And if you are an artist, business person, whatever you do, if you would like to be inspired and would like to learn more about hip hop along the way and also see some reinforcement of the concepts that we talk about on this podcast, The 10 Traits of Successful Hip Hop is for you. Second book is The Social Media Cheat Code. That is for everyone who listens to this podcast who does not consider themselves an expert or really good at social media. It's not for super experienced people. It's actually for people who are on social media but are not getting the results you need. So what we did is I broke down like
12 or 13 strategies that I use all the time that actually work really well for me. I put it into a book. I gave you examples and I tell you how to implement it. That's a book you absolutely need as a listener to this podcast, watcher of this podcast. If you're on YouTube, supporting these books actually goes a long way towards supporting the podcast. So to support the show, if you like what we do, obviously we don't necessarily get paid to do this shit. So support the products and services that we create. And these 2 books are a big part of that. We appreciate your support. And back to the show.
All right, folks. Super duty, tough work, magnificence, Illogic. We're talking about the case for a union in hip hop. Why hip hop needs a union, y'all? Okay, we got 3 down. We're going to talk about number 4. Reason why hip hop needs a union is retirement. Retirement, y'all. Retirement. Look, I've been doing music. We've been putting out music since when? Late 90s? 99?
99. Yeah.
20-something years?
Yeah.
There ain't no retirement or 401k in hip hop. There ain't no promise of no house. There ain't no promise of none of that shit when it comes to art. That's not even just a hip hop problem. That's just a doing art, music, period issue. Creative people don't have things like that built into their jobs, even when they're their full-time jobs, you know. And as we mentioned earlier, one of the most heartbreaking things to see in hip hop is someone who has been a pioneer, broke, fucked up, out on the streets. Is unable to provide for themselves. And
doing GoFundMe's for their funeral. Their families doing GoFundMe's for their funeral.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
and they're legends.
sad.
They're legends. You
Yeah.
know, like
Yeah.
name known worldwide. And not being provided for in their later years, even though they've been critical in this art form becoming what it is, and people like you and me getting paid right now. Like if they didn't do that, there'd be no way for us to get paid from the art. And so what unions allow people to do, and what they do is, you know, they take into account your years of service. The more years you work under the union, the more they take care of you when your time is done working. You know, all these other institutions have it. You mean to tell me that Curtis Blow don't deserve it?
Right.
Grandmaster Flash don't deserve that?
Yeah, Red Alert.
Yeah.
Fucking Melly Mel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Why Melly Mel got to get a better deal working for, you know what I'm saying, a regular business than hip hop? Why can't hip hop give him what these regular businesses gave him? Whether it's retirement, whether it's, you know, health care and all of these things, you know, that standard jobs and things give their employees. I believe hip hop, if it were to unionize, could negotiate for the collective something that works for everybody, because the economic power of hip hop is crazy. What fucking health insurance company wouldn't want to cover 1 million motherfuckers? That's a lot of bread. Oh, in one day, you can get 5 million customers. Oh, all we got to do is negotiate a lower rate to get these hip hop dudes in. Okay, how old are they? Between this age and this stage? Okay, that if the average age of a hip hop artist is fucking 18 to fucking 40 something, people are still healthy during those years. Still healthy years. You know? But you can negotiate something as a collective that you can't individually. And we have to do a better job, or we can do a better job working together to figure out that thing, so that our Curtis Blows and our KRS-Ones and our Big Daddy Kanes and our, you know what I'm saying, and our Q-Tips and our Fife Dogs and all these people are taken care of, man. You know? And many of them, we don't see them as much because their financial opportunities within the art form ain't there unless they get on stage.
Yep, that's it. That's all they have.
It's the only way they can take care of themselves. You get on stage, you can get money now. But what if you can't or don't want to get on stage? You can't get money in hip hop. And that's something that does a very huge disservice to, you know, the pioneers of this art form.
Yeah, man, it's sad to see. It's sad to see a lot of times. And yeah, it would be a volatile thing as far as insurance. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because there would have to be standards in the contract.
You know what
I mean?
Yes.
Just like any job, there's certain jobs that I've had.
Yeah.
If you were a smoker, your insurance rate was high.
Exactly. And there's a lot of
You know what I'm
there's a lot of
saying?
smokers in hip hop.
Smoking multiple things.
Yeah, not just the tobacco. You know what I'm saying? Smoking that wacky tobacco.
Right. So of course there would be standards, but having that option, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just having that there for, cats that have been in the game for an extended period of time and have laid the groundwork for all of us to do what we do.
Yeah.
There's no reason that they should not be able to pay hospital bills. There's no reason that they should not be able to pay medical bills. There's no reason that they shouldn't have a standard, rate of living.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Most of these sports, most of these other organizations, that have unions end up with some type of pension.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? After certain years of service, you do 20 years of service as a cop.
Yes. You good.
You can retire and be taken care of the rest of your life.
Yes. In your 40s, you done.
Yeah. In your 40s, you can retire and quit. You know what I'm saying? Now, granted, you're risking your life.
Yeah.
For those 20
A little
years.
more dangerous.
A little more dangerous, but having something to where even if it's you get $2,000 a month.
Something.
You know what I'm saying?
Something.
$1,000 a month, depending on your years of service. Like,
Yeah.
what is wrong with that? You know what I mean? And I think it's worth it. I think, especially the pioneers, when LL Cool J don't have them abs no more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he can't work out like he do now.
Right.
Because he is in his 50s.
Yeah.
Probably close to 60s now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like a cat like him. What's wrong with taking care of him? I think he deserves it. I think it's sad knowing that the cats that gave us our livelihood, there's nothing that takes care of them.
Yeah. And it reminds me of that Jay-Z line, like I'm overcharging people for what they did to the Cold Crush. So basically implying that since Cold Crush got jerked, he gonna overcharge everybody now. Right?
Right.
But that only helped Jay-Z.
Right.
It's not like he giving back the money he overcharged to the Cold Crush.
Right.
But if this would do something like that, a better line would be we gonna unionize rappers for what they did to the Cold Crush.
Yeah, facts.
That's the line. You do that, you can actually prepare whoever is the next Cold Crush for their retirement from the art form. From when they don't want to be jumping on stage and traveling, or maybe they just want to, be taken care of for all they've done. So, that's number 4. Number 5 reason hip hop should organize, get unionized is less commercial exploitation.
Yes.
We all know the corny commercials when we hear them. They throwing some fake scratches, some corny beatboxing. A fake drum. They'll throw impeach the president behind that bullshit.
Yep.
Call it hip hop, and then try to look cool. Or they want to like. It's like that exists or they'll just take slang from hip hop, use it to promote their product or service. No compensation for hip hop. No acknowledgement. Just stealing our slang. Stealing everything, whether it's the clothes, the dances, everything from the culture. They're going to take it and use it for commercial gain. What happens if we just say, no, we see you. Don't do that. These are the standards. You can do that to rock. You can do these other genres. But for us, we would like you that if you're going to do some hip hop shit, you hire one of our hip hop people to make this shit. Who made this corny hip hop beat in your commercial?
Yeah.
Oh, they not in the union. We're not going for that. You can't get no services no more. You know what I'm saying? You out here hiring people who ain't part of the collective, trying to imitate what we do. Scabs and shit crossing the picket line. I just think in general, you can stop these situations where hip hop artists are getting exploited by these commercial entities. Every year we got to complain, about, hip hop need to be here, hip hop need to be there. Why they always using hip hop for this? Why Jay-Z got to get on the stage when Hillary Clinton running for president? You know what I mean?
Yep.
Why Lupe Fiasco out there with Bill Gates.
Yeah.
You know, these are hip hop. They're using hip hop because they know hip hop's power. If hip hop wasn't able to touch the youth and get the word out there, they would not call none of these rappers to sell their ideas and products.
Facts.
And they do it because we allow them to.
Facts.
And we don't think about the collective at all. We just say, okay, I'm going to cash out real quick. And then the next person comes along, get pimped and exploited. And they just think hip hop is a tool that they pick up when they want to, attract our audience, but not support our causes.
Yep.
You know, and then when we're looking for allies and people to try to help us really do something that matters, they're nowhere to be found.
Exactly.
You know, but they was doing a nay though.
They was dabbing.
Yeah, had that hot sauce in the purse though.
Oh, shit's disgusting, man. It's hilarious, but it's disgusting, yo.
Don't get me started on this topic. You know,
Come on. Let them know, man. Let them know why you mad, son.
Dog, this shit pisses me the fuck off.
Yes.
Every fucking time I see somebody do some shit like that, it's insulting. It's like they take these little cliches and they try to take these little things, hip hop things or slang they're saying, and whenever it's time to get us to do something for them, they all up in hip hop's face.
Yep.
Using hip hop for everything. We gotta talk to only every 4 years though.
Yep.
So is that
only every 4 years? Not in between those 4 years.
No.
I mean, they have fucking battle rappers, you know, promoting Joe Biden.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on, bro.
What is it? What does hip hop got for that?
Come
what
on,
Joe
man.
Biden done for the culture?
Come on, bro.
No,
Come
not
on.
just. And this is not even. This is every politician.
Mm-hmm.
Every one of them.
Yeah.
All these corporations. They all do the same thing. You know, you think that these artist catalogs aren't being leveraged for all types of endeavors outside of music.
Come on, man.
You know, from Universal to, you know, all these labels. You think that they're not out there saying using Jay-Z's catalog, whoever's catalog, as collateral to fund whatever the fuck they want.
Yep.
Hey man, I'm good. We on the blueprint. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Just let us get that loan. We can build this fucking skyrise over here. They doing it.
Yeah.
We don't even know. You know, you just get paid your check when it's time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you get your crumbs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You get your crumbs. You have no say, though.
You're never at the table.
You have no say. If you don't want your music to endorse this product because you don't own your masters, you have no say.
Yeah. Yep. And those
Because there's no union. Because there's no one to support you, you have no say. And you don't have the money to fight.
Yeah. And like these situations where artists like, you know, Biz Marquis's catalog wasn't up or De La Soul's catalog wasn't available because the labels did something, either via not clearing or whatever. Those are situations where De La Soul, being legends of this art form, should never be in that position.
Never. Ever.
Never. It's like, nah, man. Y'all, and whoever put them in that position should never get to sign no more hip hop artists.
Yep.
You do right until you do right by De La Soul.
Right.
You got to give them the
everything you even think about.
You got to give them the Miss Seeley and the Color Purple. Till you do right by De La Soul. You can't have no more hip hop records. You gotta give them that, you know.
Oh man, but it's true though, man. Like it's a sad thing, you know, to see something that we love, you know what I'm saying, and that we've pretty much dedicated most of our life toward.
Yeah.
Get used in ways that we know is not okay.
Oh yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? We know that the people who, unless they're independent artists for the most part, we know that they probably didn't okay that, but they don't have a choice.
Right. Yeah, it's for something corny that they wouldn't have
They
wanted to
wouldn't
do.
have, you know, no, not at all.
You know,
Not at all.
yeah, man. So that's number 5. Number 6, and this kind of goes with the previous one that we were just talking about. The number 6 case for unions in hip hop is better sample negotiation.
Yes.
Every year we understand that the reason that we hear less and less sampling in hip hop is because only the people at the top of the, of the food chain, if you will, like Kanye West, are able to afford everything that comes along with sampling. It's basically a luxury now, only afforded to the largest of artists.
Yeah, or the smallest of artists who people don't give a fuck about.
Exactly. You either got to be large enough to pay for it or small enough to get away with stealing it without asking.
Right.
But if you in the middle, you can't do it. You get too small for people don't care, or too large where the labels don't care about letting you get it. But if we had a union and we were more organized, the rates that we are charged for sampling, especially since we are the primary samplers in the music, we could negotiate something. Because look, man, we could just not sample none of you guys' shit.
Right.
We can make our own samples, but if we're gonna sample, we want to change the rate. We want to change the rate. We want to pay what, Johnny over there with the guitar pays when he covers an entire song.
Right.
Why is hip hop sampling charged more than a guy when we take one bit of a song than the guy who takes the entire fucking song?
Yeah, just redoes it.
Because we ain't negotiated the shit.
Yeah.
We ain't took it to task like, nah, man. Nope. We're gonna pay what they pay for that cover. Because we ain't using but for 2 seconds of it.
Yeah. If that, we use a drum.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? A drum loop. Like.
Ah, man, sorry. This is it. Because hip hop said so. So that's number 6. Okay, we'll take a break and we'll be right back. Quick announcement. Over the last several years, we've been asked many times by the listeners of the show if we would ever open it up to the public for advertising. We've always been interested in this, but we never had the systems in place to make it work properly. I'm proud to announce that we are officially accepting advertising from the public on Super Duty Tough Work. Meaning, if you're a small business owner or an artist and you'd like to create more awareness about your product, service, or release on the Super Duty Tough Work podcast, we're now in a position to do that. For more information, email us at superdutytoughwork@weightless.net. Again, that's superdutytoughwork@weightless.net. Email us there. Tell us a little bit about who you are, what you would like to promote, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible to let you know if we think it's a good fit and what the next steps are. Thank you for your time. Back to the show. All right. We back. Super Duty, Tough Work. Talking about the case for a union in hip hop. Why hip hop needs a union. We ain't got but like 1-2 points left, but I'm going to hit y'all with them. The number 7 reason is more institutions. Every year, I know I personally get sick and tired of being sick and tired of hip hop people complaining about the Grammys. Every fucking year. I'm tired of it.
Yeah.
Dog, this shit been going on since 1989, 90.
Mm-hmm.
Shit, back in 90 or 89 when it happened, all the hip hop artists back then, I think it was Salt and Pepper, Will Smith, P.E., bunch of them, they all said, we not even gonna go.
Yeah, there was no hip hop artists at the Grammys. They all boycotted.
All boycotted. You ain't seen that since.
Yep.
Now they just get on Twitter and complain about not being welcome in this institution or their award show, instead of getting organized and making our own shit that's bigger and better.
Yep.
And that would be changed, because once you got everybody on the same page, where we know the agenda, we know our leadership, We know what needs to happen to make it work. At that point, it's like, okay, now we can build things.
Mm-hmm.
You know, why do we have to be concerned about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
Yep.
Whether or not groups like Public Enemy or Tribe Called Quest get inducted. We get happy because we're like to be welcomed as visitors in someone else's home.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks for letting us in this fine establishment. No, man, make your own fucking fine establishment. Hip hop generates too much fucking money to be treated like they're unwelcome anywhere.
Right.
You ain't gotta like us. You just need to respect us.
Yep.
That's it. Y'all ain't gotta like hip hop. Fuck it. Just respect hip hop. Respect our power.
Yeah.
That's it. You know, we'll get our own museum, and none of this shit is gonna change until we get our own shit.
Right. Until we all, because we make too much money.
Yes.
We make too much money.
Yes.
The people who make the money control the shit. You know what I'm saying? So if we got organized and we started pulling our shit,
Yep.
to where y'all can't make no money off of us no more.
Yep.
We making the money on ourselves.
Right.
Then they'll have to come to the negotiation table.
Yeah.
Because they losing that chunk of the pie. If they losing billions of dollars, come on, man.
Yeah. Like
So much control.
Like imagine if let's say like a Jay-Z, Q-Tip, and let me think of someone from like E40 got together and said, okay, we're gonna buy a building in Indiana, somewhere in the middle of the fucking country, whole building. We're gonna turn that building into a hip hop museum. 40, you're gonna be responsible for the history of the West Coast. Jay, you and your team gonna be, you know what I'm saying? Tip, we gonna just have you on the culture, the production, Jay. You know what I mean? Then we gonna find, maybe we'll get Master P to give us our Southern Park. 4 fucking floors. You know what I mean? Maybe a floor for international shit too. But that can be done.
Yeah.
That can be done.
Do an element per floor.
Yeah. A whole building, they can buy that for less than $1 million fucking dollars.
Yes. Yes.
You know? And then the collective can go. It would become a huge attraction. You drive through Indianapolis, oh, you gonna go to the hip hop museum? Hip hop Hall of Fame? Hell yeah, I'm going. You man, that shit's dope.
Yeah.
You know, Motown got one.
Yeah.
Hip hop can't get one. We need to start creating our own institutions instead of crying about it. And until we're organized, that ain't gonna happen.
True.
So that's number 7. Number 8 is just a summary of all of this, but we're gonna say it anyway.
Yeah, it is.
The number 8 bullet point: why hip hop needs more political power. I'm sorry, more unions or a union is to have more political power. Who has more power when it comes to why do you think all these politicians be kissing up to the fucking unions come election time?
Yep.
Be it the teachers union, police union, firefighters union, the union, you know what I'm saying? Why? Because they got power. They're organized. They know that they can't just get over on that shit when you got one entity that represents thousands and millions of people who are gonna move as one.
Yep.
If they don't endorse you as a group, you're not getting none of those votes. They vote as a block. That's what political power looks like. Political power don't look like everybody just, you know, Jay-Z gets paid to do this commercial for this guy. I'm gonna go with this guy. We're gonna go here. But none of us ask any of these people to put something concrete on the table to help the collective.
Right.
What are you gonna do for hip hop?
Yeah.
What are you gonna do for hip hop artists? What can you offer us besides, you know, pandering and bullshit? You know, so all of this shit that we've said in this episode, it equals more political power. We have economic power, but we don't use it collectively.
Yeah.
But once we start moving as a collective, we can have political power. Then you ain't got to worry about motherfuckers disrespecting hip hop. They'd be too scared to disrespect hip hop.
Right. Right. You know how many votes that's gonna cost us if you say that?
Hey, don't say nothing bad about hip hop now. Isn't rap great? Yeah, all my kids love Jay-Z.
Heard that new Kanye?
Yeah,
heard that new Kanye record?
I got a new pair of Wheezies. Thanks. You know, they motherfuckers be out there just kissing hip hop's ass.
Yeah, at every level.
Every level.
Yeah,
you know, but we don't have access to that because we're not organized. So that's it. That's it. This was an interesting conversation, man.
Yeah, man. It's a good one.
You know, if you guys are at home, I hope that you kind of you know, get this and you know, got something out of this, man. Maybe the need for us to get more organized and everything. So you know, I guess we'll see you guys next week.
Word.
Peace.
Peace.
Thank you for listening to Super Duty Tough Work. Subscribe to the podcast on iTunes. Follow the podcast on SoundCloud. Peace.
Shoot, I got styles already that's more complex that nobody know about. I mean, super duty tough work.